Blue Dog Films presents Paid to Dream with Charles Dennis.
Yes, it's that man again, Charles Dennis, and it's Paid to Dream. And what a dream I have this morning. I dreamt that Shawn Huff was on my show. And look, my dream came true. It's Shawn Huff. She's here. You know, when I was
Hello,
in
good morning.
Good morning. When I was in my first year of high school in Toronto, I wanted to do everything. I was on every committee and this and that, and I became the publicity director for the school yearbook, whatever that meant. I didn't know what to do. I gave myself the job. And then I saw in the newspaper that Zsa Zsa Gabor's diamonds had fallen down the sink of her suite at the King Edward Hotel. The next thing I know, I'm interviewing Zsa Zsa Gabor, my first movie star. And, you know, I was 14. And there's a photo
That's
of me
amazing.
where I'm kind of looking down her dress because I'm looking at my first pair of movie star boobs. You know? And she got me
There you
to,
go.
she said, "How old are you, darling?" I said, "I'm 14. She goes, "You're perfect for my daughter." So I began this correspondence with Francesca Hilton, which has a very sad ending. The next year, I met Rhonda Fleming. And do you remember Rhonda Fleming? A gorgeous redhead. She was one of those Technicolor ladies. Anyhow,
Not really.
yeah,
That doesn't mean.
different vintage. Anyhow, and I was still a teenager, having met these two gorgeous women, and I grew up, I got used to it. And then you walked into my house one day, and it was like I was back with Zsa Zsa again, because Brent turned up. He had to do a pickup shot, and he brought you with. And I was like, she's got to be in the movie too, you know. Hello.
Oh, thank you.
And it,
I'm always happy to be in your movie.
well, I'm thrilled because of the range. I found that clip, by the way, when you were the shrink, when you were Elspeth.
Oh, good.
Yes, so
Yeah.
Can I get you a coffee?
No. Caffeine and my meds don't like each other.
So, new memories. Tell me about them.
I don't remember. That was a joke. I told you I was strange.
it's an amazing. I never get over this. I just never get over. I love to work with friends, you know, the Foo Dog family, as I call it, and you're a charter member. So,
Thank you. I'm a very proud charter member.
well, and I'm proud you're proud, and I'm glad to have you on board. So, all right, let's get into this story because it's this 15-year-old girl who goes to Paris.
Hmm.
Did you run away to Paris or did you go to Paris? That's the part I'm not sure.
No, I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was a secretary in a charm school over the summer. And this French modeling agent came through town with this photographer because they were shooting a spread on Indian jewelry for Bazaar France. And so they went into the local little charm schools and stuff like that. They were looking for talent, and there was a picture of me up on the wall. And so the woman that owned the school, she called me. She says, "Oh, you have to come down here and you have to meet these guys and all this." And so they courted me and they courted my parents, and my parents were like, "You're not going to France," but they ended up letting me go at 15 years old. I was almost 16. And I moved to Paris and started modeling there with an agency called Paris Planning.
But did they have to adopt you? I mean, how did that work? I mean, you were underage.
No, I mean, it probably never would go over now, with all the human trafficking and all that. And especially after, yeah, no kidding, especially after finding out the agent, the guy that discovered me, he was the subject of a 60 Minutes expose for, yeah, for a lot of bad things
What was his
yeah, he used
name?
to brag about all the young women Gerald Marie.
Oh my.
Yes, bad, bad guy. Luckily, I got out and everything was fine and it began my career, but there's some bad stuff going down.
That's horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you stayed there for how
There was
long?
actually an entire I was there for about 6 months the first time. Then I came back home and I went back to high school and took my GED. And then the next summer, I went back and moved to Milan and loved that. I loved the Italians. They were great. And so I spent a long time in Milan, worked there for a long time, and then went to New York and ended up with Ford in New York.
Did you learn to speak French or Italian?
I didn't, and I have such regret
Well, never mind.
for that.
Greg, how
I
did you
spoke enough to,
survive? Because the French, if you don't speak French,
well,
then
they can be brutal. I
yeah.
mean, we were very much taken care of by the clients and that kind of thing, and I traveled all over Europe. Even when I lived in Paris, I would go to Zurich, I would go to Hamburg, to Munich, to, Spain, all these different places that, Paris was basically just the hub, and you would travel all over creation. Yeah,
And you were there from
kind of crazy.
15 through 18?
Till almost, yeah, till almost 18, and then I went to Milan, sorry, and then to New York. So, and then to California.
Well, how did it feel coming back to the States, going to New York after being immersed in Europe?
I love New York, and I still love New York, and I had a great time there. And being back felt good because Ford was such a reputable agency, and it helped that I spoke the language, and I had made some friends by that point. And I mean, I always say New York is a great city for the very young or the very wealthy, and anything in between is not that great. So I was very young.
Yeah, I I,
Yeah.
uh, I had a little hitch there, living on the Upper East Side with a woman I was involved with who, as she said, divorced well. And I mean, it's crazy the way people live there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. I mean, my daughter lived on the Upper East Side for like 3 years, a family of four, and they finally now moved out to Connecticut. But it gets tiring. I mean, I do love the energy of the city, but it can be a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you get older, psst, I'm happy here on the ranch. I don't want to go anywhere. And
You
this is
should
great.
be happy.
I get to visit everybody on the podcast.
There you go. Yeah. So, how many podcasts have you done now?
I think you're going to be number 11 or number 12. And then there are
Oh, excellent.
the ones I did about 15 years ago that were just audio, and I thought a lot of them were lost. And this morning I found Barbara Rush, and I'm
Oh
so
my
excited
goodness.
because Bruce Davison said, "Would you like to interview Barbara Rush?" I said, "I'd love to." He said, "Now don't ask her about Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin or Paul Newman. What am I going to talk to her about? Pancakes?" So she
Yeah.
puts it on. She says, "Okay, where should we start? Should we talk about Dean? Should we talk about Frank?" She was ready. She was a
Oh,
fabulous.
excellent. She was ready to go.
I'm so thrilled to have found it again because she does some great, great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I had a beautiful one with Ed Asner that's up there now, and when they're
Mhm.
gone, I still have something. And then I've got Mark Rydell going on,
Sure.
and he's still with us. God bless him. He is going to be. Are you ready? He's going to be 97 in a couple of months. Yeah.
Wow. I think he is a neighbor of my my old agent out at the, the retirement home. It's
Yeah,
out in
Brent mentioned
Calabasas.
something about that.
Yes. I think that he is my ex agent's neighbor, and we go out there. We'll go out like once a month or once every 6 weeks and take her to lunch and go to the movies. And I love that campus out there. It's
Oh, it's
great.
lovely. Lovely. So listen, I want to talk about matchmaking because you and I have been very successfully put together with our mates, and I don't know. It's just a woman who I barely knew called and said, "Call this woman." This was 9 years ago. Call this woman. I think you'll like her. And hello, before the end of the year, I married her. Your husband performed the ceremony, and you did
That's
all
right.
you did all the decorations.
Yes, that's right. That was a beautiful day.
And the same thing happened for you with Nina Blanchard. That
That's
she got
right.
it into her
I
mind.
actually
What was it in her head that made her think that you two would click?
Well, I was living at Nina's house because I was actually still based in New York, but Nina had scouted me at Ford because they were sort of sister agencies, and so I came out to California, and she told me, she said, I think you'll do well in commercials and that kind of thing. So I was very excited to get out to California, and so I was living at Nina's house. And we had to go to a black tie gala in Century City one night, and she said I've set you up on a date with a blind date with one of my other model actor guys, and she goes, he's from Kansas, you'll love him. I don't know why that had anything to do with it, but so
Oh
I'm
yeah,
waiting
because the
for
Midwest and New
my
Mexico are so close.
they're so close. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny, but so I'm waiting for
So it wasn't
my
a
date to show up.
it wasn't so much romantic as just for you to have someone on your arm.
Yeah. He was my escort, if you
Right,
will.
right.
But the funniest part was I was waiting for him to arrive, and Brent's voice is very, very deep.
Yeah.
And the first thing I heard was his voice, and my first thought was, that is the fakest, most phony voice I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, oh, good grief. And so I peek my head out of the bedroom, and then I see him, and I'm like, oh, that'll do. And fun fact, we have been together since that first night. Tisk, 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 tisk.
And Sharon Stone
It was
found
meant to
out,
be.
didn't she?
She did. She did. I had moved in with Brent already, and Sharon had been dating Brent right before me. And so she called the house one day, and I answered the phone, and I swear this is what she said. Hello, this is Sharon Stone. Is Brent available? And so I held the phone out and I go, hey, Brent, it's Sharon Stone. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Never heard
And
from again.
he told her, he said, well, Sharon, he said, I can't see you anymore because I have someone else that I'm involved with. Dun, ta-da!
He dumped Sharon Stone. Wow.
He did. He dumped Sharon Stone pour moi.
How wonderful.
Yeah,
Do you know
very
who
flattering.
Fisher Stevens is?
I do. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He was with Michelle Pfeiffer at one
Right,
time.
and he cheated on her. Goodbye.
Who does that?
Hello.
Crazy.
Maybe he should hook up with Sharon Stone. There might be some kind of...
Yeah, no kidding. She has a tough time keeping the guys around too. I think she might be a little, I don't know,
Yeah,
difficult. I don't know.
I discovered her, I thought, back in the...
Oh, really?
Well, back in the mid '80s, I was directing a TV series, an episode that I had written, a late night thing for CBS, And at the time, Elliot Gould and I were talking about setting up a management company. God knows what that would have been like. But so I'm walking down Bloor Street in Toronto on a Friday night. I'm a little bit stoned. And I see this girl. She's a bit plump, but beautiful face. And she's with her parents. And I figured, oh, she'd come in from the burbs, from Etobicoke or Mississauga or
Yeah.
someplace. And I said, thinking this will be my first client. This is my Lana Turner moment, right? In Schwab's. And I
Yeah.
said, excuse me, are you an actress? Thinking, no. And she said, yes. I went, oh, do you have representation? She said, yes. I said, who? She said, creative artist. That didn't mean anything because I was CAA.
Oh,
Is how but she said, creative artist. I said, what's your name? She said, Sharon Stone. Okay. And she introduced me to her parents. You know, they were up from Pennsylvania. And the look she gave me, which is, you're busted, Charles. You know. I met her years later at Colleen Camp's birthday party, and she didn't look like Sharon Stone anymore. You know? She looked like
Yeah, I mean,
someone's still attractive maiden aunt. You know who?
yeah.
Because she only married once, I believe, to that guy and that publisher.
I think, yeah, that guy Bronstein or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but she has sons. She has
Yes.
a couple sons, I think.
I think they
Yeah.
were adopted. Whatever.
But you know, we watched that Christmas movie with Michelle Pfeiffer the other night. It was pretty cute.
What was that?
I've it's on Netflix. I've forgotten the name of it. It's you'll see it pop up if you look at Netflix. It's Michelle Pfeiffer, and I forgot. It's a cute little Christmas movie. But you guys could watch it with Grayson.
Oh, good. We will. We will. So,
Yeah.
I digging into the archives, God help us. I came across. I had no idea that you had a series called McKenna.
That's right. I did. It was great. It was a great time. Spent 7 months in Bend, Oregon.
7 months,
It
and then only
was
6 episodes, though.
no, we did no. I actually that is on IMDb. It's
Oh, let's
incorrect.
correct
I
that.
was in all of 18 episodes. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I've tried
No,
to
no,
do that
not
in the
you.
past, but I
Everybody,
was in all of
all the cast. It said 6 episodes. I thought, really?
no. We shot a full season. Yeah.
Fantastic. And is it available anywhere?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've got the old videotapes in the garage, but no, it's not. It's not up anywhere, and it's too bad. It was a great series. It was about we were this family that lived in Bend, Oregon, and we did outdoor outfitting. So we would have people come on vacation, and ABC bought this entire ranch in Bend and made it a working studio.
Wow.
And it was incredible. It was this beautiful log cabin with these sort of other houses where the guests would stay. And so we would take I ran the outdoor outfitting along with Chad Everett and this guy Eric Close, and we would take guests on like a rock climbing excursion. We snowshoed. We did dog sledding. I mean, it was fantastic.
Did you have a
I
stunt
had the
double, or was this all
best time. I
you?
loved it. I did a lot of it, but we had a lot of stunt doubles. It was a big budget show, but unfortunately, it was very well received and got really good numbers. But they aired us opposite Seinfeld.
Duh.
Not a good time slot.
No.
And also, furthermore, no. And there was a show that it was Claire Danes' sort of launching pad. I forget what the name of the show
My
was, but
so-called life.
and ABC. Yes, I think that's what it was. And ABC was very much behind her. And so we were sort of the sacrificial lamb. And it's really, too bad because we had excellent numbers. It was a very well received show because there was nothing really like it out there. It was very family oriented, but kind of exciting. And, what do you do?
Well, I did something this morning. That show I mentioned I directed back in the 80s called At Will. No, this was Adderley, sorry. And so I said, wait a minute. Everything turns up on YouTube. So I typed in Adderley TV series, and all the episodes were there. And my episode was there that I...
Oh, wow.
So give it a shot later. It may somebody...
Yeah, I should do some digging. Absolutely.
Everything turns up there. Well, I remember there was, the birth of television. 1949, Ed Wynn had a television show, and Hattie McDaniel, from Gone with the Wind, she was a guest, and there's this kid. I said, who had this? Where was it sitting? In whose garage or whatever, attic, that this thing is now up there?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I mean, you can't hide anything anymore. If it's out, it's out there.
Now, the other one I was very curious about, because I was a huge Brian Keith fan, was Secrets of Lake Success. But I love the description, money-hungry pharmaceutical clan. Is there any other kind?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Isn't that the Pfizer's? That was one of my very first jobs ever. And that's got kind of a funny story behind it. I was doing a lot of commercials at the time, and I was not having luck with my theatrical interviews. And this was back when, you could have 3 theatrical interviews a day, especially for young ingenues kind of a thing. So I went through my appointment book, my Filofax back in the time, and I counted how many auditions I'd had because I had not booked anything. It was 134 auditions before I finally booked that show. Yeah. But the way I booked it, it was interesting because I was away doing a commercial. I forget where I was, but I was out of town doing a commercial, and I got the call back. And so for the series. And so my husband put me on tape, and we shot this whole thing like up off of Mulholland and submitted through that tape. So because I couldn't go in, and that's how I booked The Secrets of Lake Success.
Did you work with Brian Keith?
I did. I worked with him. We shot for about a month. It was a mini series. It was 3 episodes, and worked with him. And we worked. It was really cool because we shot everything at Greystone Manor up in Truesdale Estates.
Yeah.
Yes. So our production took over the entire back.
We got
parking
chased
lot.
away from that when we did Chicanery.
Mannheim Hoffling, the discoverer of... The bird threw me. It's in my eye line.
Work with it, okay? Just try it, for once.
The Van Winkle syndrome, giving countless Southland women sleepless nights and in some cases, keratonia.
Catatonia.
Could this be the work of America's most wanted fugitive, the... How do you say that?
Imam Abdul Muhammad Zalika.
Listen to what the former head of the CIA had to say about this, right after these words from the mattress guys. How was that, Penny?
It's just been a shit show.
Penny!
It's impossible.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And it was fantastic. I mean, I had such a great time and met a lot of, cool people, and Valerie Perrine was in it. Do you remember Valerie Perrine?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, she was, and Brian Keith was very nice. He was a good guy. Who else? Oh, Ryan Philippe.
But wasn't he a baby?
He was very young. Yes, he was very young. I do remember Ryan Philippe because he was pretty shy, but I remember he got bit by some kind of horrible spider and ended up having to go to the hospital. It was really crazy. But no, we had a good time. It was very glamorous, and it was very much like Dynasty. you know.
Wasn't it the
But it was
same
just, I think it was the
creators?
same producers.
The producers. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll bet
yeah.
that's on YouTube if you
So,
type it
but
in.
I think it is. I searched that one out. I found an old poster for it. It's pretty cheesy, but hey, it's all good.
I was trying to figure out, were you in more Charles Dennis movies or Brent Huff movies? I know you're in 4 of mine.
Let's
He
see.
may have 5.
Brent
You may be in
Upton.
5 of his.
I think yes. I think I'm 5 for him. Yeah,
All right.
I'm
Well,
sleeping with the right guy.
we'll find a way to catch up.
That's right.
What's
That's
your
right.
favorite movie that you did with Brent?
Probably Cat City. I really liked playing the bad girl in that, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. I loved the shoot. I really liked the movie that we did in Kansas City too, because I love Kansas City. Now I'm drawing a blank on the title of the film. Good grief. Oh well. But no, I enjoyed Cat City a lot because I loved shooting in Palm Springs, and it was I liked my work in that, and it was beautifully shot, and that whole. It's very sad that we lost Julian Sands. Very, very sad. But I remember him. He was a big hiker back then when we were in Palm Springs for the shoot.
Yeah.
He would get up at the crack of dawn and go out hiking in the morning. It's funny too because our producer said, he said, "Are you a He said, "Oh, Julian, you're a hiker," and Julian says, "No, I'm not a hiker. I am a mountaineer." It's like, okay,
Wow.
he's a mountaineer.
I'm a mountaineer.
Very sad though. Very sad that he's.
Well, what was he thinking?
Well, yeah, you should not. I mean, and at the time, they were telling people don't go up there. It's way too dangerous. And everyone that knows anything about hiking, and I don't know a whole lot, but I do know that you're not supposed to go alone.
No. No.
Yeah.
So, I love Gwen Bartlett, your latest incarnation in True Enough.
Yes,
That was great fun. Great fun. We're going to put a clip on for people.
that was a lot of fun.
I used to love to fuck you.
He really said that, Eric?
There was no Eric.
Oh, right. So we're not sisters.
No, but we could be pen pals.
and nom de plume, you just
Yes.
as Dabney say, you bring a lot to the party, and it just
Well, thank you. I always have fun. I
do.
always have fun with you. And like in the words of my husband, Charles Dennis, you are the most prolific guy around. If you're not writing, producing, directing, acting, podcasting, I'm taking care of horses. I mean, my goodness.
what am I supposed to do? I get up in the morning, I've got to do something with the day. Now listen,
Hey, what's the new horse's name?
Oh, his name is Durango.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you come and
love
see.
that.
He's. I'm in love with a horse. It's weird. Maybe not. Not to a horse person, which I have become. That's the other weird thing. Now listen, the clock is ticking. God, I told you this thing whizzes by. But I do want to know about the Rhett Foundation and your involvement.
Okay, well, I worked for the International Rhett Foundation for about 8 years,
Oh, no
and
longer?
I was no, when COVID happened, they stopped doing events and charity fundraisers. So I do still volunteer for them, and they have like a big picnic thing every year, but. The pandemic really did bad things for the nonprofit sector because the people could not go out and fundraise during no one had any money, And so a lot of the galas have come back, but that's really what my function was for them. I was a fundraiser and I was their event planner for their big giant gala that we had every year at the Peterson and then downtown. And now they do everything. It's very sad. They do everything virtual. They do their fundraising virtually. But it's tough because Rett is such a little known disease. It's a disease that affects little girls predominantly, some little boys, but it's a mutation on a gene where the girls they grow up like everything is coming along normally, and then around the age of 2 or 3 they start regressing and they lose all function. They lose the ability to walk, to talk, to a lot of them to eat. They become ambulatory. And it's such a rare disease. It's not like a childhood cancer or something like that where you hear about it. So it's harder to raise money for these little known diseases. It's very tragic, but I'm happy to still be volunteering for them. It's a great community, the families, and my husband is very active with them too. And yeah, I would love to still work for them, but they're just not doing the events like that anymore. Yeah.
Well, it's that time. Even though it's 29 minutes, 21 seconds by the time I put in the clips, by the time Hazel Sapanuk, our producer, puts in the clips.
Good for her. That's awesome. She'll do a great job for you.
She slipped in the middle of this show. I told her I was interviewed, and she sent her love. Anyhow, this wonderful woman.
Oh.
You can see why I love her. She's it. She's fabulous. Shawn, thank you. This has been Paid to Dream. If you enjoyed us, click like, subscribe. Don't bother her though. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Charles. Bye.